Today I got a quick video lined up for you where I'll be sharing some of my favorite sample chop techniques that I use in my workflow. These tips will give you valuable insight on how you can approach your own samples. So make sure you stick around because I'm gonna be sharing a few pointers throughout this video. And trust me, you wanna watch to the end because the last tip, all I'm gonna say is you're gonna start using warp more. And that's crazy because we all know how warp makes your sample sound when you stretch it. But we'll get back to that. We could just hold down shift and hit mute, or we could also just double tap mute and get to the same screen. This is how the sample sounds. The sample sounds good, man. So as you can hear through the sample, like we got nice bass line going on. I like that. And another thing I like to do is use tune because I'm able to hear it in different tempo along with the pitch. And that could be good at times because if you have a fast sample, you can use tune and just go down to slow it down. Or if you had a slow sample, you could use tune to speed up. So let's just listen and feel how this tempo sounds at the original tune. So you could tell that it's a bit slower. I kind of want to speed it up a bit more. Okay, on 3, I like the pitch, but I don't really like the tempo feel, but it's a bit closer to the tempo that I'm going for. And my advice to you is like sound out the drums and the tempo to your sample. So if you're hearing this part like, so like, figure out where you're trying to go with that track. It could be like, that probably was a bad example. You know what I'm saying, man? And then let's just zoom in. I like to use the plus and minus because this is a faster workflow. Yes, you could just go in like this, but let's say if you want to edit the end real quick, what you could do is just press N and it snaps there. And I could press start and it will snap back there. So let's just go in a bit closer. Another thing you could do is hold down shift and use zero snap. The way I like to think about zero snap is that it really hones down onto the silent part. You can see how it skips around versus if it's off of zero snap. You can see it goes like this. And you also want to look at the wave. This is where the initial sounds start. You may try to come in and put it like right here, but you don't want it really at that transient part. You really want it where it's like a little tail that goes into it. And then I could use pad 16 to loop this sample. Boom. I wanted to start over at that part. And then, see, I could just use the end real quick, snap over. And let's pay attention to where it ends. Right here. That one is a bit more easier to see that it ends right there. And you would just count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So now that I have that chop, I'm gonna just process that and I wanna extract it, put it on its own thing. So now if I go up here, it'll be its own sample. Now it says it's 80 BPM. We're gonna wanna just double check that. So I wanna just assign this and put it on pad 1, do it. So it says it's about 80. So we could just bring it there just for reference, but we're also just gonna tap it out right now. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's showing me it's more closer to 95 and 97. And you really just want to trust your ears because once you get better at counting rhythms, like you're going to be more right than the MPC is. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to just say 96. So I'm just going to record it in. As you can see, it sounds perfect. It loops nice. And a quick trick that I was doing was shift and play start to hear with the metronome and hear with the metronome off. And now you can see the sample has actually changed to 95. Now, since we got the right tempo for how the sample is right now we can go back to how we want it to sound tempo-wise, you know? So I'm like, like, I want it a bit slower. I don't want it to be this fast. So I'm gonna say around 80. Now you realize there's a space because you can't just change the tempo without using some kind of stretching. And this is where warp comes in. And this part is the main part I really want to share with you guys because I was just messing with warp. I'm like, there has to be a reason why they have this warp function and it can't just be useless. There has to be a way we could just make this more proficient. And this is how you will go about doing it. So let's put it on warp. And I'm only using warp because I'm trying to see what tempo it sounds good in. So now that I have it at 84 versus the original 96, let's hear how it sounds. Yeah, that sounds terrible. And you also want to make sure that you change it to the actual BPM. So it's not 95.46, it's actually 96. But now if you start messing with the stretch, you can really get it to sound closer to that actual quality sound. So let's go to 84%. Yeah, that sounds clean. Now, usually this is not how I stretch out my sample. I would say the best way is still to go to sample edit mode and go to process and go to time stretch. I'm just gonna put in that new tempo, 84. And you're gonna hear the quality of doing it through time stretch. So now I could go and go up tempos without sounding crazy. See, it's still holding on tight versus from before. From before, it would have definitely just teared apart at like maybe 100 or even just like 2 increments up. But what I would use it for is definitely when you're like beatboxing and you're just trying to find that tempo versus you just going to process and figuring out different tempos. That way probably is more tedious. So now that we have that, and this is 84, I want to just chop this up and let's just mess around with it. So BPM chops. And we already got it at the tempo, so all we have to do is just hold down shift, convert it, new drum program using slices, go to the next drum program over, and then I'm gonna take it off a loop, and then you could just be able to just record freely and it will add the bars as you're gonna see. And if you want a video on how it's like making your beat in grid view, just like how you see it right here, you can actually start building out your beat just through one sequence through your grid view. And it's very easy to just go and do certain parts. Like I said, this part is like the intro, this part is like the verse. So if I'm working on the verse with my drums, I could easily just loop it around, you know, bar 5 to 9 and go to my second track and start my drums from there and record from there. You can watch this video next. So if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe and share with your other producer friends. Thank you and peace.